The average person spends hundreds of hours every year cleaning, yet somehow the mess always comes back. The laundry piles up, the floor gets dirty again, the bathroom needs cleaning again, and the cycle never ends. Japan discovered something most countries never figured out. A clean home isn't created by cleaning harder. It's created by building habits that make mess almost impossible. That's why Japanese homes often look organized, calm, and spotless even when people are busy. Today, we're looking at 9 Japanese cleaning habits the rest of the world should adopt immediately. And the first one starts before you even enter the house, leaving your shoes at the door. Most people think taking off shoes is just a cultural tradition. In Japan, it's actually one of the country's most effective cleaning systems. Every time you walk outside, your shoes collect dirt, dust, mud, bacteria, and everything else that's sitting on the ground. Yet in many countries, people bring all of that straight into their homes. Japanese families do the opposite. The moment they enter the house, their shoes stay at the genkan, the entrance area designed specifically for this purpose. The result is surprisingly powerful. Floors stay cleaner. Less dirt spreads throughout the home, and cleaning becomes much easier because the mess never enters in the first place. It's a perfect example of how Japanese cleaning habits work. They focus on prevention, not correction. And that idea becomes even more extreme with the next habit. Toilet slippers. Imagine having a pair of slippers that can only be used inside the toilet. To most people, that sounds excessive. In Japan, it's completely normal. Many homes keep a separate pair of slippers waiting just outside the bathroom door. The reason is simple. The toilet is considered its own hygiene zone. Anything that touches that floor stays there. It doesn't travel into the kitchen, it doesn't enter the living room, and it certainly doesn't end up in the bedroom. Visitors often forget and walk out wearing the toilet slippers. A mistake that instantly tells everyone they're not Japanese. It may seem like a tiny detail, but Japanese homes are filled with tiny details like this. Small habits that prevent contamination before it happens. And speaking of preventing problems before they happen, the next habit may be the biggest secret behind why Japanese homes rarely feel cluttered. Everything has a home. Have you ever lost your keys, only to discover they were exactly where you left them? The problem wasn't losing the keys. The problem was that the keys never had a designated place to begin with. Japanese homes follow a simple rule. Everything must have a home. Not most things, everything. Your bag, your jacket, your umbrella, your charger, your mail, even the smallest household items often have a specific place where they belong. That means putting things away requires almost no decision-making. You simply return the item to where it belongs. And because objects aren't constantly wandering around the house, clutter has far fewer chances to form. The system sounds simple, but it becomes even more effective when combined with the next habit. They don't keep things they don't need. One of the biggest reasons homes become difficult to clean isn't dirt. It's stuff. Too much stuff. Unused gadgets, old clothes, broken items, boxes filled with things nobody has touched for years. Japanese homes are often smaller than homes in many other countries. As a result, people learn something important very early. Every object has a cost. It takes up space. It gathers dust. It requires maintenance. And eventually, it becomes one more thing that needs to be cleaned. That's why many Japanese families regularly remove things they no longer use. Not because they're trying to become minimalists, but because fewer possessions create fewer problems. The less unnecessary stuff you own, the easier your home becomes to manage. And once clutter is reduced, one final habit helps stop it from returning. The 1-minute rule. This may be the simplest habit in the entire video, and possibly the most powerful. The rule is straightforward. If a task takes less than 1 minute, do it immediately. Put the shoes away. Hang up the jacket. Wipe the water around the sink. Throw away the receipt. Wash the cup. Most messes don't appear all at once. They grow from dozens of tiny tasks that people postpone. One item becomes 3. 3 become 10. And suddenly, the room feels overwhelming. Japanese families break that cycle before it starts. Instead of waiting for a weekend cleaning session, they deal with small problems immediately. A few seconds here, a few seconds there. And over time, those tiny actions prevent hours of future cleaning, which perfectly explains why Japanese homes often look so organized. They're not spending more time cleaning, they're simply making sure the mess never gets a chance to grow. Sorting trash like a system. For many people, trash is simple. Everything goes into one bag, take it outside, problem solved. Japan sees trash very differently. In many neighborhoods, garbage is separated into multiple categories. Burnable waste, non-burnable waste, plastic containers, PET bottles, glass, metal cans, paper, and sometimes even more. At first, it sounds complicated, but the goal isn't to make life harder. It's to stop waste from becoming a problem later. Because when trash is organized correctly from the beginning, collection points stay cleaner, recycling becomes easier, and unpleasant odors are reduced. Japanese residents quickly learn that throwing something away is actually the final step of ownership. And because everyone follows the same system, entire neighborhoods stay remarkably clean. But while this habit keeps the outside environment clean, the next one focuses on something much closer to home. The floor beneath your feet. Cleaning floors on their hands and knees. Most people clean floors standing up. Japanese schools and traditional households developed a different approach. It's called zokin-geik. Instead of relying entirely on mops or machines, people use a cloth and clean the floor while moving on their hands and knees. At first glance, it looks old-fashioned, maybe even unnecessary. But there's a reason this practice has survived for generations. When you're close to the floor, you notice details that are easy to miss. Dust in corners, small stains, hidden dirt under furniture. Nothing escapes your attention. Many Japanese children learn this habit in school, where students help clean classrooms themselves. The lesson isn't just about cleanliness, it's about taking responsibility for your environment. And when that mindset comes home, it creates spaces that remain clean, not because someone is forced to clean them, but because everyone contributes. Which brings us to one of the most surprising examples of Japanese attention to cleanliness. Cleaning the toilet every day. In many homes, the toilet gets cleaned only when it starts looking dirty. Japan follows a different philosophy. Don't wait for dirt to appear. Prevent it. Many Japanese households do a quick wipe down almost every day. Not a deep cleaning, just a few seconds. A disposable cleaning sheet, a quick wipe around the seat, a quick wipe around surfaces, and that's it. The logic is simple. Removing tiny amounts of dirt every day is far easier than removing large amounts later. As a result, the toilet never reaches the stage where cleaning becomes a major chore. And because the bathroom is often viewed as a reflection of the home's overall cleanliness, maintaining it becomes part of maintaining the entire living environment. It's a small habit, but it perfectly represents the Japanese approach. Solve problems while they're still small. And that same philosophy appears again in our final habit, covering the bathtub after use. After finishing a bath, most people simply walk away. Japanese families often do one extra thing. They close the lid. At first, that doesn't sound very impressive, but this tiny habit serves several purposes. First, it keeps heat from escaping. In households where multiple family members use the bath, the water stays warm much longer. Second, it reduces evaporation and humidity inside the bathroom. Third, It keeps dust and debris from falling into the water. All from a simple action that takes only seconds. And that's what makes Japanese home habits so fascinating. They're rarely dramatic. They're rarely expensive. Yet, they quietly solve everyday problems before most people even notice them. None of these habits require advanced technology. None require a larger house. And most cost absolutely nothing. Yet, together, they create homes that feel cleaner, calmer, and easier to maintain. That's the real lesson behind Japanese cleaning culture. The goal isn't to spend more time cleaning. The goal is to build systems that make cleaning less necessary in the first place. And when millions of people follow these habits every day, the results speak for themselves. So, which of these Japanese habits would you start using in your own home? Let us know in the comments. If these systems for a cleaner life have changed the way you look at your daily routine, please subscribe and like the channel. We are uncovering the hidden wisdom that helps build a better lifestyle. Let's cultivate a more organized future together. The next treasure of knowledge will be revealed soon.